Hello. As the positive weekend continues, I want to describe, if I may, the difference between sexual dating and spiritual, the difference between physical attraction and sexual attraction. Believe it or not, sometimes we can have the two clouded and we can have the two quite confused. We see something that is sexually pleasing and we convince ourselves that we are in love. The hormones do quite a few tricks. It performs quite a few tricks because the hormones can convince you that you love someone when really it is nothing more than lust. If I may be so humble as to share my own sins and my own faults, I remembered in my wild and horny young days when I had plenty of sexual partners, loads, and if I saw a fresh fruit, a young lady who I really fancied, I would convince myself that I was in love with her, and I'd end up having good sex. Then once that energy has left, that sexual energy, there would be an emptiness inside of me because all that built up lust and all that built up sexualness is all been released, and there's nothing left until you wait for the cycle to rebuild itself. And that's the reason why so many of us end up divorcing, because at the outset we convince ourselves that it was love, but it was nothing more than physical attraction, sexual attraction. Physical is not as deep as the spiritual. The spiritual goes right into the depth of a person's core and magnetize two souls together. And when you magnetize those two souls together, it becomes so fastened and so locked in, nothing can break it. The physical is quite shallow, nothing more than sexual curiosity and sexual lust, and that is it. Nobody has ever been faithful because of sexual lust, but people have become faithful because of spiritual bonding, which creates sexual lust. There's a difference. Once upon a time, there was this man who went on a journey, and this man wanted to find something beautiful that he could spend the rest of his life with. And what did he do? He came across someone who was selling this beautiful mansion, and the person who was selling it says, "Are you sure you want it?" He was patting like a dog, saying, "Yes, I want it. And the man said, "Are you sure? Once you sign it, it's yours." And he looked at this beautiful mansion with lovely swimming pool and tennis court. "Yeah, I want it." So this fool, he signed the deeds. However, when he signed the deeds, he went in like a panting dog into this beautiful big mansion. But once he passed the external, once he passed the physical beauty and went on the inside, there was nothing inside of it. Nothing, no carpet, no tiles, no TVs, no chandeliers, nothing. It was an empty shell. And he couldn't believe it. He said, "What? He's passing out. How can I be so deceived? And he ran back out again. Look at the beautiful building. Beautiful. Jerked off to it. But we're back inside. There's nothing there. You can't build a relationship based on nothing more than physical. It's impossible. That's why there's so many divorces. So many of us who split up. Because society promotes sex and lust so much that we forget the spirit. And the spirit inside ourselves needs to be watered. The human spirit is like a plant. If you don't water it, it dies. You can't feed. You can't feed sexuality, but you can feed the spirit. And when you feed it with the right ingredients, it grows to consciousness. And when it grows to consciousness, the two souls that grow together, like a tree and its branches, it bears fruit. That is the secret to understanding the difference between the world of physical flesh and the world of the spirit. When we understand the science, the secret science of meeting on a spiritual and mental level, only then can we find positive, sustaining, and meaningful relationships. That foolish man, if he had done his research, if he had looked into the history of this beautiful mansion, he would have seen that it was shallow. There was nothing inside. But he was guided by his vision. He was guided, excuse my language, by his penis. He wasn't guided by his mind. His intelligence had forsaken him. His intelligence was on a vacation. And his penis, his sausage, his sablon took over. Went wild crazy, buck bull crazy. And as a result, he ended up paying out. He bought a mansion that had no value. Think about that for a moment. He ended up paying out for something that had no value. And it cost him his investment, his money, and no doubt he ended up bitter. We men have a tendency to be physical and visual, and as a result, we can't sustain our marriages. You can't maintain a good, positive marriage where the meeting was nothing more than a sausage and an egg, a vagina and a penis. No good comes out of corruption. And that's the reason why there's so many men in divorce courts. Women initiate the divorce most of the occasion. And men scream, "Arr!" angry. Think about it. Did you buy that mansion? Did you went on a visual trip? A physical trip? Then mental? Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful topic today. It's hardly I do a video, specifically for men relationships. But the men are in crisis today. We don't know where we stand in regards to masculinity, etc. We have to redefine ourselves. We have to redefine our spiritual values and meet women not on the vagina level. We don't want to meet a woman on a mansion level and end up losing our money, our lives. Think about that for a second.